Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. And in today's video, I am talking about things that people leave out of their budget. This is something I see time and time again when people are like, okay, my budget is not working for me. And then you take a look at their budget and they have left out several categories, because when people are budgeting, they just think about like the rent payments, maybe a car payment, insurances. They don't account for stuff. They're not tracking where the money is going. And then they want to know, why is my budget not working for me? Because you're leaving out categories. So let's go through this list. But before we do, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get straight into it. What are some things that people are just leaving out of their budgets and making it not work for them? One of the first things is savings. A lot of people leave out savings, whether it's pre-tax or post-tax savings. And depending on whether you have a full-time job, your job offers 401ks or a traditional IRA or whatever they offer, a lot of people just forget to add savings into their categories. And so they're spending all their money, and that's how people live paycheck to paycheck. If you're not saving any money, then all the money that goes in goes out. So let's see what you can save on. So for example, adding to your Roth 401k or traditional 401k. This is something that occurs before you even get your check. So pre-tax savings is something like a traditional 401k. Before you get your money, before you even hit your account, the money is taken out. You can also do post-tax savings, but taken out before you get your paycheck. So that's something that you can think about. Also think about what you save after you get your paycheck. So there's still savings that you should do even after you get your paycheck. Saving with your employer is great. Saving a 401k is great, but that's for long term. Let's think short term. So what other savings goals do you have? Do you want to buy a car in the future? Okay, let's start saving for that. An emergency fund. Do you have a 3 to 6 months fully funded emergency fund? If you don't, that's something to add to your budget to save for. Are you maxing out your Roth IRA? Yes, no, add it to your budget. Are you saving for down payments on a house? Add that too. So you want to make sure these categories are visible and you're saving for each specific thing. Be specific in your savings. Don't just be generalizing and saving, say, $100 a month for everything. That's not going to be enough when you need to get a new car. You're going to have to wait like, 20 years to be able to buy a car, get a down payment on a house. Like, it's going to be so much. And I'm not going to be able to max out Roth IRA with that. So make sure that you are being specific in your savings goals. The next thing people leave out is eating out. Now, I do believe in the art of grocery shopping, that people should be cooking at home. But if you're the type of person who do once in a while want to eat out as well, make sure that whether you have a budget for that or that's included in your grocery budget, because those could be two different things depending on which financial standing you are. If you're not a person who has fully funded emergency fund, probably live in a house, if you're not in a great financial place, just cut it out at all. Don't eat out. But if you're in a great financial place, but you want to make sure your budget is still specific, you can make a food category that includes eating out. It just has to be bigger. So for example, if you have a grocery budget at say $200 a month, that's not going to be enough for eating out every other day and going grocery shopping. That's just not enough. But let's say that you have $200 for grocery shopping and say $50 a month for eating out, maybe once or twice, or maybe $100. That's being specific. You can add it all into a $300 and just know that, okay, this is for eating out. And remember that when you're counting this eating out, add tip in too, because we tip all the time, at least I hope you do, possibly about 20% of how much your food costs. So make sure that you're accounting for that as well. Not just the food cost, but also the tip-in. The third thing people leave out, of course, is snacks, because a lot of people think they snack less than they actually do, so they don't account for it. But then when they're going out and then they see a vending machine and they want to get a $5 snack, maybe they go to work and they get snacks out of the work vending machine almost every single day. That is taking your money as well. If you do want to buy snacks, you either add it to your grocery budget, and then again, you go out to buy your snacks. Rather than buying them every single time, just buy it in bulk if you can. It saves you money if that's something that you particularly snack on. Or, make sure that if you the type of person who's on a diet, you don't want to snack a lot, you just take it out altogether. But add it to your food budget rather than doing it and not accounting for it. You can also add it to your splurge budget. So that's something that I do. If I wanted to buy a specific snack, I would take it rather out of my, a splurge budget. Once in a while, I like to get something for myself, so I might just take the money out of there. But account for all your snacking. But in case you didn't know, food budgets are one of the most, if not the most, wrongly budgeted things. Most people eat and buy more food products than they actually account for. So they may have like a $200 budget and think they're sticking to $200, but like they're spending like $300 a month on food. A lot of the times we spend more on food than we actually think. So account for it and track it and properly budget it. The fourth thing is giving yourself a little room for splurge. And it doesn't have to be that much. It could be, say, $10 a week, $50 a month, whatever it is. Give yourself a little bit of something. If you're not like in a horrible financial situation, then delayed gratification, come on. You need to sacrifice now. But once you get into a decent area, you can give yourself a small amount of money to just buy something nice for yourself. And this is like maybe once in a while, again, you can go out to eat. Once in a while, you can like stack it up and buy something else. So for example, if you're giving yourself $50 a month, you can save it up and then buy yourself, something nicer than $50 a month can buy you. And maybe you want to like upgrade your phone. You can save this up, and then upgrade your phone after you save up enough money. So make sure that you give yourself a little room to have fun, to do something spontaneous, to go out. This is something that we need as human beings, whether it's to socialize, to have a little bit of fun here and there. So giving yourself a little something in your budget is better than going out and doing all these things and not accounting for it in your budget. So a lot of people forget to give themselves fun money, but they're out here having a whole lot of fun. The fifth thing people forget to budget is personal items. This is talking about self-care items, skincare items, just different things that you need to take care of yourself, hygiene products. Why not budget it? You can budget it on a month-to-month basis. That's what I do. So I list all the stuff that I think I will need for the entire year. I estimate it, and then I give myself a budget and divide it by 12 and then account for it, to spread out over the years, because I don't need shampoo every single month. I don't need facial wash every single month. So I just buy it as I need, or I just save the money and then just buy it all at once. So it just depends on how you want to do it, but make sure you account for those, because you're gonna need toothpaste, toothbrush, you're going to need soap to wash your body, shampoos, like whatever it is. Account for those in your budget. You don't want to just go through life not accounting for those, because you're gonna need it. Hopefully you're using them too, so make sure to add that to your budget. The sixth thing you want to account is donations and giving. So if you're the type of person who likes to give, whether it's like you see, people on the streets and then you like just give to them, or you're donating monthly to an organization, or it's giving tithes, if you're paying tithes and offering, accounts for those. Put that in the budget. I budget my tithes. So for example, when I get my paycheck and I take my tithes out, I act like I don't even see that money at all, like it doesn't exist, but I still account for it and I keep track of how much I'm paying for tithes and offering, because it is a part of my money that is going out. And when I look back, I'm like, okay, how did I spend this money? I don't want to be missing a big chunk and to be like, okay, where did this go? It obviously went to tithes and offering. Now that I can put that in my budget. So if you're giving to anything, if you're doing something good, if you're, I don't know, even give it to Girl Scout, it's not a big deal. It's just that make sure you're accounting for those, because sometimes you're giving out money and that's great, but you're not accounting for it. So you're now thinking back, like, where did this money go? Where did this money go? But instead, if you have a budget for giving, you're more intentional about your giving. And I like to be intentional about giving. I want to give. I like to give, so I want to be intentional about it. The next thing, of course, is gifts. People forget to budget gifts all the time. But you go to baby showers, you go to weddings, your friend's birthday is the exact same time every single year. Your family's birthdays are the exact same time. Christmas is the exact same time every single year. You buy people gifts, whether it's for Valentine's Day, anniversaries, anything that it is, you buy gifts, and gifts can be a big portion. Think about this. Let's say on average you spend $50 on a gift. Okay, but then you have 6 family members. Now you're going to buy them everything for, let's say, Christmas is $50, that's $300. Their birthdays come along once a year, so that's another $300. Now let's say that there's going to be graduations, there's going to be weddings, there's going to be baby showers for friends and families. That's another $300. Already we're close to $1,000. Not to, add up the other stuff that, you're giving funds and giving people gifts, buying cards. All these things are expensive, so make sure you account for those. Do not forget it. It is good to give, and I love to give gifts as well, but I like to account for it so that I know that, okay, this is where my money is going. And I actually spend a lot of money on gifts, and I'm like, okay, at least I know, rather than going out, not giving yourself a budget, overspending, and then regretting it in the future. You want to be intentional about your giving. The next thing, of course, is vacations. I love a good vacation. I plan on going on more vacations next year. But if you want to go on vacation, you have to be intentional about it. People leave this out of their budget all the time. They forget to budget correctly for vacations. And what I mean by that is, say, this year I wanted to go on 4 vacations. Okay, that's great. But then I also want to go home to visit families and friends. That's also kind of a vacation. I mean, it's not a real vacation like, the most things, but you're still traveling. You're going to want to account for not just the airline tickets, but also the hotels, how much the food is going to cost, how many trips are you actually going to go through in a year. So let's say typically it costs you about $1,000 per trip, and you're going to be traveling on 3 vacations and visit home twice. That's $5,000. Are you going to have that much money to be able to save that? And then let's say you want to do one more extra trip for, something else, maybe small little trips that will add up to about another $1,000. That's $6,000 for the year. If you want to save for that, you should be saving on average $500 a month for vacation. So make sure that you're being intentional with your savings towards vacation. Do not leave it out of your budgets, because it's something that happens for most of us. Even if it's just going on a little trip, that money is coming from somewhere. So budget it, and you will have a more effective budget. And the last, but absolutely not the last thing, is miscellaneous things. And these are like small miscellaneous things that come along. So for example, you need to change the bulbs, you need to buy some batteries, you need to buy, some soil for the garden. These are miscellaneous, and they don't really fit anywhere, and it's not something that you do every single month. So you don't know what to do and how to budget it. What I do is I have a small miscellaneous budget, like very small, even if it's like $20 a month of miscellaneous, of things that just come up that I don't know exactly where to fit it. So I still save this money, and when something comes up, it's like, okay, miscellaneous, I can just spend this money to buy this thing. So if it's like a decor piece that you want to buy for moving or whatever, you can just get out of miscellaneous. But oftentimes that's money you want to make sure you're saving. So if you need like a command strip, you need some tape for the house, you don't know exactly where that fits in properly, you want to make sure that you're budgeting for just little things that come up, because that's still money that's going out. And without budgeting those things, you have an incomplete budget. So thank you so much for coming and listening to me talk about these 10 things that people leave often out of their budgets. Let me know, did you leave anything out of your budget, or have you been leaving something up for your budgets? I didn't add like pets and stuff because I don't have pets, but if you have a pet, obviously I hope you have a pet category. Is there anything that you realize you're leaving out of your budget? And are you going to add any of these things to make a more effective budget? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video and ring the notification bell, because I post 2 videos a week on Tuesdays and on Fridays. Come on over, because conversation is always great. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.